It's the beginning of May and it's finally stopped raining here in West Wales, so it's time to get on with the next stage of the dye garden. If you're new here, my name is Becca and I'm a hand spinner, natural dyer and newbie weaver, and I'm documenting my first year of trying to grow my own dye plants. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you where we're up to. In my last video I potted up the various different plants and started hardening them off, and you can see they got a bit windburned because it's been really wet and windy here, but they're now all ready to be planted out. The first thing I need to do is prepare the space where they're going to go. Right at the beginning of the year I created what we call a lasagna bed. So that is, I put layers of cardboard and compost and manure and all sorts of things into an area to suppress the weeds, and now it's just about ready to be planted out. But it has suffered a little bit because we've had a lot of rain, so it's a bit of a mess at the moment because it just has rained so much. I haven't been able to get out and really do a lot of maintenance, but it's in the front garden. We don't have a huge garden, but we pack a lot in, so I'm gonna have to probably turn the sound off because it's quite blustery up there. Sorry, I'm squinting into the sunshine. It's sheltered in the back garden here, but out the front is a little bit blustery. But anyway, I will take you along and show you. So it's looking very unpromising at the moment, but clear all this up and that's going to be a good space. And it's about 1 metre by 1 metre. I don't know what that is in old money. What's that? About 3.5 foot by 3.5 foot. So I'm going to cut the edges, get rid of the bits of weeds, and there's a bit of fungal growth in there which has probably come from the compost that I put on there, and we'll get it sorted out. And there we go, ready for planting, and it's lovely friable stuff, and I think there's going to be enough depth of soil for what I'm planting. So let's go and get the plants. So here's the woad, and in theory this is going to create blue for us, and they're a member of the mustard family, so I'm going to give them about 10 centimetres, about 4 inches between plants, and just plant them like a crop really, rather than in my sort of hippy dippy cottage garden way. It's a shame their leaves got burnt because they were looking great. Not that that will affect the colour, I don't think, but yeah, so they're nice looking plants. Really should have gone out a bit before now, but as I said, the weather's been awful. So I'm just going to lay them out, plant them, and go from there. Millie's always keen to help. I'm not entirely sure how much help she's being here, but in her mind she's just doing exactly what I'm doing, so therefore it must be right. She would of course love to dig a really big hole because, being part Jack Russell, it is her natural instinct, but I will have to put something over these plants to stop her from digging them up, because given half a chance she will dig them up. The leaves should be ready to harvest in about 6 weeks' time to make our first batch of homemade Woad dye, which, fingers crossed, will be a glorious blue. Although we now think of red as the traditional colour for Wales, if you go to the historical record, people would have worn blue clothes, and the blue came from Woad. So it feels very right to be planting Woad in my garden in West Wales. If you've never made lasagna beds before, they are very much a sort of a permaculture idea, and you have the grass, then you put a thick layer of cardboard and then top it up with compostable material. And generally make them a few months before, I mean you can make them and use them, but if you can make them a few months before you need them, more's the better, but you know, just work with what you've got really. And if it was a true permaculture bed, then it would have a mulch across the top of it. I haven't got any mulching material. I might go and get some, I don't know. But anyway, it'll be fine. These are going to grow away, and hopefully I'm not going to have a load of weeding. I'm going to have to watch that the dog doesn't dig these up and that cats don't dig them up. But I have got fencing to go around it to keep the cats off. And I'm just doing a sort of staggered plant so that in theory each plant has got 4 inches between it. Now I want to finish the bed with an edging of chamomile. And these are all looking really healthy. You'll have to excuse dirt under my fingernails. And yeah, they should be a good companion plant to those Woad. I'm really enjoying making this series of videos for you, but you know how YouTube works. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, would you please consider doing that? If you have any questions about the video, then please leave them in the comments below and I will leave an answer for you. There we go. Right, next job. Chicken wire fence, so naughty doggies don't dig up all my plants. So I've got some little chamomile plants left, Dyer's chamomile, and I'm going to dot a few around the garden and then I'm going to put some in a trough. So you've seen me planting stuff in the garden, so I don't think you need to see that, but I'll plant some in a trough and I'll show you where I'm going to put it, because it's going to go in what we call our wildlife garden. Kind of basically we try and plant wildflowers there. I wouldn't call it a wildflower meadow because there's still a lot of grass in it, but we don't cut the grass more than once or twice a year. So it's only a little area. It's maybe, I don't know, sort of 14 foot by 8 foot maybe. Maybe it's bigger than that. Anyway, they're going to go at the top in a container. So let's get on with that. So this is multi-purpose compost, and it's I don't think it's completely peat-free, but it's not got an awful lot of peat in it. I do struggle to get peat-free compost around here. I think I've probably said that before. Okay, so I'm going to plant this up, and I'm actually going to just do 4 little plants. The designer in me wants to do 5, but I haven't got 5, so 4 little plants there. And I won't water that until it's in position, because then it won't be quite as heavy. I have watered these little plants before I'm planting them, but you can see they're really pot bound. As I said, the weather's been so awful, I just haven't been able to get out to plant anything, so it all needs to go out desperately, which it has now, so you know, problem solved. go and put those in the other part of the garden. So that's the planting done for today. I'm going to just show you what's left to plant, and then I'll give you a little mini tour because the apple blossom is out and it's looking lovely. And you'll see that really we don't have a big garden, but as I've said before, we do pack a lot in. And I really think that the dye plants are going to like the conditions we've got here because we've got a real microclimate. Anyway, I'll turn the camera around and show you what I mean. So this is what's left to plant out, and these are the Woad plants, and then the red onions, which I think are just about ready to go out. And in a minute I'm going to show you where they're going to go. And the rest of what's on here is, well, kind of baby leeks and cuttings and things, which are obviously not dye plants. Anyway, I'm just going to back up a little bit and show you the garden. So we've been here about 7 years, and when I was going to say retired because Andrew retired, I'm semi-retired. When we retired to Pembrokeshire, we wanted a cottage style garden and we wanted an orchard. So this is our little mini orchard, and this garden is maybe 20 foot by 20 foot. And as you can see, the blossom is looking lovely. And one of the attractions of the garden was that it has these raised areas which are wheelchair accessible. And if you've been here any length of time, you'll know that Andrew is a wheelchair user. And you can see that actually we don't weed much. And we like to have a mixture of fruit and vegetables and wildflowers and what essentially most people would call weeds. And that's the way we like it. So we've got a loganberry growing against that wall, and various cottage garden plants and basically weeds as well. And this is just coming into flower. This is lovely. This is a wildflower. You see it all over the place in Pembrokeshire. Bladder campion or sea campion, or yeah, I think those are the two names. And golden marjoram. And I was going to say, most people do not grow lawn daisies in pots, but Andrew uses it for his photography. And then you can see we've got various herbaceous perennials coming. And we've got a little pond that we redug this year, and then our table, and we sit out here and eat. And you can see the corner of chaos that will eventually be the area for my fibre art studio, but that is probably another couple of years away. So there you go, that's the back, and let's go through here. And then this is a new sort of pergola rose arch thing, and then we've got a bank of loveliness, and the ceanothus is looking stunning. Right, and then turn you around without making you seasick, and you see it's kind of a bit overgrown. Most of them are plants. There are a few weeds, but most of them are plants. And then we'll just go around the corner. I'll show you the wild garden, and that's where we were planting or placing the troughs. So you can see we don't mow this, and we just fill it up with wild plants and leave various things that just grow. And we've got some nice roses coming. I'll show you the roses in a minute. So roses, these are new arches. They've only been in for a few months. The roses are going to be in bloom very soon. And let's just look at the other thing that we've got on here. Hang on a minute, let's turn you around. And this time of the year, really beautiful. The clematis. And so you can see that's where we were planting today. And we've got various tubs and things that have got to go to the tip. So there's a kind of warts and all tour this today, isn't it? And then a couple of boxes, and they have got elephant garlic and regular garlic in them, which will be ready to harvest in quite a short space of time, I would have thought. So there you go, that's a little tour of the garden. So that is the update on the Dye Garden, and I hope you've been following along. If you'd like to see it from the very start, I will link the first video in the series somewhere. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think it will be there. Anyway, I'll see you really soon. Have a great day.